A cylinder is just like a prism in the fact that it has two bases. But the cool thing about a cylinder is the base can't change shape. It can't be a triangle or a hexagon or a rectangle. Every time in a cylinder the base is a circle. Thank you, Matt, for being the one person to respond to my very easy question that I asked. Cylinder? No, can't be a square. By definition, a cylinder has bases that are congruent circles. Always. In your notes. I don't know, is there a blank for it?
No.
Okay, then don't write it. Parts of a cylinder. A cylinder it has a radius and it has a height. That's good news. Because there aren't that many pieces that you have to find. It's only got a radius and a height. So you don't have to worry about, oh, the prism has a height, but the base also has a height. Which height is which? You don't have to worry about it here. Circles don't have heights. They have radii, which is half of a diameter.
What if it's a cylinder?
Oh, what?
A circle prism.
A circle prism is by definition a cylinder. A cylinder is not a prism because it doesn't have edges. All right, here are your formulas. They are on your formula chart. Dimitri.
Is he showing me this whip? Not like a whip, like a car. You don't use whip.
There's a better time to do that, Dimitri, and it's not right now. So you don't need to write these down. These are on your formula chart. You need to be able to find them on your formula chart. Be careful. There's a difference between multiplying by 2 and in this one squaring something. So just be careful.
Do we put the pies in?
Yes, so we're going to leave answers in terms of pi. You know how you're kind of supposed to eat dessert last, right? You eat your meal and then you eat your pie. So when we calculate this, we're going to ignore pi. We're going to ignore the dessert until the very end, and then we're going to attach pi. So let's say that the radius was 3 and the height was 2. And I wanted to find the LA. When I plug it in, look at what's going to happen. 2 pi r h. In my calculator, what am I going to press? 2 times 3 times 2. You skip over the pi. You skip over it. What is 2 times 3 times 2? What's 6 times 2? 12. I skipped over it, and then we saved it for the end. We saved the dessert for last, and then you put it back on, and you circle your answer. Do you see? You skip over it, and you attach it at the end. Yes. All right. Let's try one. This is in your notes. I gave you a cylinder, I gave you a diameter, and I gave you a height. Julius, what's the radius of my cylinder? Because you can't do anything without a radius. What? 12 inches. Very good. So you've got a radius and you've got a height. Now all you have to do is go to your formulas. Formulas. Start. You should be pressing buttons in your calculator, or you should be doing mental math. You should be doing one of the two.
Yeah, Julius.
Brett, what'd you get for the lateral surface area? 725? 20 pi. Yeah, okay, good. 720 pi. And then your units would come afterward. Inches squared. How do you get 720? He did 2 times 12 times 30. And then you don't forget to attach the pi. What happens if you forget the pi? It's counted wrong. It's not counted minus 1. It's not counted half off. It's 100% wrong. You forget the pi. Huh? Forget the pi. Forget the inches, not a big deal. Forget the pi, huge deal.
It's not the same.
Not the same.
Nothing was the same.
Melanie, have you gotten the surface area yet? Okay. The cool thing is, guys, when you've already found the LA, you've done half the work. So to find the surface area, you take the thing you already found, and then what do you add to it? 2 pi r squared. 2 pi 12 squared. 12 squared times 2, and then add it to 720. 1008?
Yeah.
Nice. 1008 pi inches squared. Ask me a question.
Yeah, I got these numbers. No, I didn't.
So basically,
I don't get it.
Okay, Austin, what did you plug into your calculator?
I know, John.
Oh.
I got it right.
Okay. Volume!
I have a question.
Base times height.
Can we just do 24 times 30?
Times 30.
Oh,
We're-
wait, just give me mine.
Volume, base times height. No, wait a minute. Base times height. What's the base?
There's no base.
What's the base?
I don't know.
There's two of them. There's a circle.
24.
The base is a circle. How do you find the area of a circle?
Surfboard.
How do you find the area of a circle?
Radius
Pi r
squared.
squared. That's your base, and so you multiply that by the height. Pi r squared is the base. 24 is not the base. Some of you are going to do that. On the quiz, you're going to do, base times height, 24 times 30. 24 is not the base, it's the diameter. So be careful. So you're finding the area of this circle, which was last unit, pi r squared. 144 pi.
And go.
And now you're doing base times height. So you're doing 144 times 30. And Lewis, see what do you get? 144 times 30. 144 times 30. Base times height. What? 4,320? That's the wrong answer. What can I do to make it a right answer? Pi. Thank you.
I really want some pie now.
What? Now you really want some pie?
I should
You
make a
should
pie.
make us some
I should
pie.
make a pie. I should make a pie.
The volume of a cylinder is 160 pi. If the height is 10, what's the lateral area and the surface area? So the first thing we want to do is we see that word volume. We want to write the formula for volume. So the first thing we want to do is, volume is base times height. Except, wait a minute, this is a cylinder. We know what the base is. Every time the base is pi r squared. Every time. So the volume is pi r squared times the height. Now let's plug in what we know. We know the volume. They've already found it for us. It's 160. We know H. We know H. It's 10. What we don't know is R. So that's what we're about to find out. So all I did was write the formula and plug in what we know. Now something cool happens. Look, there's a pi on the right and there's a pi on the left. What do we get to do when there's a pi on both sides?
Take away the pie.
Cancel. Slash them out. Chow. Chow. They're gone. Over. Gone. Pi is out of here. Okay? We want to get R. What's the opposite of times 10?
Division.
Divide by 10. Thank you, Kendall. So we're going to get rid of this 10. We don't want it. We want R all alone. R smells. Everybody runs away from R. 160 divided by 10. Well, that's easy. It's 16. Ooh, aren't we lucky? 16 equals R squared, and 16 is a perfect square.
4.
Thank goodness. What's R?
4.
4. And then we are running low on time, but you would use that 4, and you would find the LA, and you would find the SA, but we are going to go on to our next example. Next example. Jenny with a G. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone Jenny with a G, but anyways.
G-I-N-N-Y.
Yeah. Jenny makes a clay vase for her art project. Has anyone ever made a clay vase in art?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
No.
If the vase has a volume of 339 and a diameter of 6, what is the height? This is another volume problem. I'm just going to keep teaching. Even though y'all are being really disrespectful, I'm just going to keep teaching. This is another volume problem. So we're going to start it just like the last one. The base is pi r squared. That's no mystery. So now we're going to plug in what we know. We totally know the volume. They gave it to us, 339. We know the radius. If the diameter is 6, what's the radius? 3. Pi r squared, and we need to find the height. So we're going to try to get the height all alone. How do you get something all alone? You do the opposite of what's being done to it.
Lure it in.
Yeah. Right now, 9 pi is being multiplied by h. We want to undo 9 pi. We want to divide by 9 pi. We want to divide by 9 pi. So take 339. Make sure you use parentheses. Take 339 and divide it by 9 pi with parentheses around. Oh, because if you don't, it'll divide it by 9 and times it by pi. You have to put parentheses around the 9 pi. Protect it.
You gotta
Glue it together. You do this time actually have to put pi. Very good. 11.98. What does that equal?
Eight.
Well, h.